Welcome back to another episode of Footballin' with Ben Roethlisberger. My name is Spence, and as always, I am joined here by your host and two-time Super Bowl champion, Ben Roethlisberger.
What's up, everybody?
There it is.
Did we just get Evan blowing his nose?
Was Evan blowing his nose in the background?
Did you catch that?
Oh,
I hope we get that.
Yeah.
And we can send that to
I'll
him.
isolate it, and he'll start the show with it. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that just was funny to me. Super excited for today. 2 reasons.
Yes.
We have a special guest.
Very special.
Which isn't a surprise because everyone knows. Because you posted it a couple days ago.
Yeah, I did. And other people posted it.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people did. Someone tried to take credit for our guest at one point, didn't they?
How dare
We're
they?
not going to call him out, whoever that is. But today's guest is brought to you by a sponsor.
What?
No, I'm just joking. We don't have a sponsor. Don't take that personal. We don't have a sponsor. Yeah. Nobody gets sponsored.
No one likes us. No one likes us over here.
More importantly, our fun, exciting guest, one that has been requested. I know we say that every week. Like last week, we said Coach Cower was one of the highest requested, and that's very true.
Yes.
And this person is easily in our top 5, if not top 3. Would you agree? Probably top 3.
Yes. So outside, after we got Coach Cower, I will say this person was the next most requested outside of Troy.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And then Jerome.
Who's still ducking us. Hey, Jerome, thanks for ducking us.
Yes, but yes, outside of those two, this is easily the most requested person that we've had since the start of last season, football season.
Yeah, sure. QB1, number 8. Right, you're number 8, right?
Number 8.
Because it's follow 7. Makes sense, right? Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, he is here.
Finally, we are so excited.
Yes,
we are so excited to have you here. What do I do?
Yeah, just move that over.
Oh, is it in the way?
Yeah, it was.
See,
yeah.
that's how we are.
This is a very professional show, Kenny.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thanks,
Appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks for having me.
Are you nervous?
No.
Okay. Well, there is I just feel like we need to start this thing. And I don't want to do this to you, but it's just the way we got to start it because we are kind of media now in a way.
You're the dark side now, man.
We kind of are, even though we're like a fun dark side.
We switched over, dog.
We did. But I feel like there's like an elephant in the room that we need to just get it out there right from the get-go. Just because it feels like the thing we got to talk about. Okay. And I don't even know really how to bring it up because it feels really like we got to be really like real about it. But I know people want to know. But you got on stage last week at a Luke Combs concert and went to shotgun a beer and didn't finish it. How do you feel about that?
Yeah,
he's very good.
He's
obviously
talented, man. He if he's your pace car dude, like you are in trouble, man. So I just kind of like try to keep up, and I was like, whatever I get, but I just try my best. Okay, well, I try my best.
We had to talk because we were there. We saw you on stage, and it was funny because they actually you were going up there, and we're like, okay, this is going to be good, and he did it, and it was like it was just like gone.
Blanked.
And then we looked at you and we were like, we're watching you. We're like, what? Kenny's like, I got to end this thing too.
Yeah,
like,
end it.
Brother,
throw it away.
Yes, chuck it. Chuck it.
I thought like on stage, and this is no discredit to Luke Combs because I'm sure if he does it every night, he's got years of practice.
Yeah.
But he shotgunned that beer so fast.
I
thought it was a prop.
Yeah.
Didn't make sense.
I'd have dumped that thing too. I'm not up there.
Talented. Yeah, man. He if that's your pace car, you're in for
You're in trouble.
Yeah,
okay.
you're in trouble, man.
We just had to
get to the heavy stuff.
Yeah, we
right
just had to hit it right
Yeah.
from the get-go, just let it know.
Now the rest of it can be fun.
Yeah, now we can just enjoy ourselves.
Awesome.
Sorry, my wife just got home. No, that was an amazing show, wasn't it? Are you a Luke Combs fan?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm him, Morgan Wallen, getting into country a little bit, and those guys are.
Oh, nice.
He sounds incredible.
That show was an unbelievable show. I saw him afterwards, and I told him, I said, to this day, one of the greatest concerts that I've ever seen and best performance I've ever seen is Garth Brooks. For at his age, and no offense, Garth, but you're not a spring chick anymore. I'm just being honest, but you're my guy still. But the show that Garth puts on, is just through the roof. No breaks, just going nonstop. And I told Luke after, I said, that's the best show I've ever seen. And you guys are like, and I'm not trying to compare you to Garth Brooks, so that's like, big time stuff. But the show that he put on was spectacular.
Yeah.
Nonstop, going hit after hit.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was probably the biggest. It's a hit. Every song you knew.
Yes.
Every song you're like, wow, just nonstop.
Are you a country fan, or you
I am. I played, baseball in high school. Everything was country, the pregame like hitting routines and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what got me into country, and ever since then, I just kind of picked it up. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I told you before we started this thing that Spence did all the Googling of you before this, so he has all the good stuff. I know you a little bit. Obviously, we've communicated since you've been drafted and whatnot, and I know obviously some stuff about you. But I'm going to use this show to get to know you more. So I already know that you like country music. I just learned you played baseball in high school.
There you go.
So we're gonna keep learning about you.
How often do you get mistaken for Morgan Wallen?
Oh, dude, so much.
Yeah.
Really?
So much. Decent amount.
I used to get Bruno Mars all the time, but I'm like the Kirkland brand Bruno Mars, brother. Yeah.
Take it.
Brother, I'll take it. I'm
it.
half as handsome with a quarter of the talent. I will take that compliment.
Take it.
Yes.
That's funny. I didn't even think about that. That's a good call.
Now I gave it to you. You're going to keep bringing it up all the time, man. I played myself. Jeez.
And we have a birthday coming up.
Oh, yeah. June 6th. Coming up.
Right around the corner. How old are you going to be?
25.
You're like an old rookie.
Old rookie.
You doing anything for it?
Getting ready for a wedding. Probably figure something out for the wedding.
When are you getting married?
June 24th.
June 24th.
Busy month.
Yeah. Mine's on the 14th. My anniversary.
You getting married?
Yeah, I'm getting married. Yeah. We celebrate our anniversary like it's our wedding day every year, Ben.
Good for you.
That was supposed to be
Is
more
that a Hallmark
heartfelt.
card, or did you?
I could write. I'm telling you this right now. I'd be a great Hallmark card writer.
You would be.
Yeah.
You're a good writer.
Kenny, you're about to get married, as you mentioned.
That's awesome.
What is the greatest wedding advice that you've received so far? Because I feel like when I started when you start leading up to it, everybody wants to tell you how to do it.
Right.
As if they're going to be part of your marriage.
Yep.
You just wait. That's my most frustrating sentence.
Yeah.
You just wait. But what's the best piece of marriage advice you've got?
I say just talking about the wedding, like all the minor details that you think are a big deal. Like when you're going through the day, you're like, no one cares about like the minor stuff. Like, so don't weigh on the heavy stuff. Just kind of enjoy the moment with your fiance and soon to be wife. So I'm really excited for it.
What's your story? How'd you guys meet?
So we both grew up 10 minutes from each other. We were she played soccer. Obviously I played football, and we ended up training at the same place. So we just knew of each other growing up. Met each other out on a break over college, and that was pretty much the rest is history.
Where'd she go to school?
Princeton.
Oh, she's the brains.
Yeah, she's the brains of the op. Brains of the op.
That's good. Good for you. I married way up too.
That's the way to do it.
We all did.
We all did.
Yeah, we all did.
Smart.
You know it's true when you start getting referred to as your spouse's husband. It's like, oh yeah, my wife's name is Mackenzie. Like, oh yeah, you're Mackenzie's husband. I was like, well, I got a name, but I guess we don't need to use that.
Get a label.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, that's cool. So I'm texting Mike. Hey, all the families. Yeah,
come on through. Well, you're not going to avoid that.
You guys come say hi real quick.
Unless you can levitate.
What's up, guys?
This is Bailey, Benjamin, and Bodie.
What's going on, guys?
Can you come give them a high five real quick? I know you want to. Oh, look how excited. They're not excited.
How we doing? What's up, guys? I like the shirt, man. Big Pac-Man guy. There's one over here, right? You got the record?
Who's got the record?
Yeah, my man. Who's the golfer? You are. I need some tips, man. You got to help me out. I got a bad slice. I got to fix.
Uh-oh.
He probably could help you out.
Yeah, he'll help me out. Get me on the range. That's awesome. Where'd you guys come from?
Where you guys just at?
Nice. Awesome.
You guys behaved tonight? All right. Well, go get in bed for mom, all right? I'll come check on you when I'm done. All right. Love you guys.
Hey,
see you guys.
It's good to see you guys too.
Oh, yeah. You guys sat Mr. Spence, too.
Nice meeting you. I'll meet you upstairs.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
All right. By the way, we're not cutting that out.
Oh, no. That's how you know I'm at your house too much.
They don't disagree.
They just like, oh, smells
They ran right by.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What were we talking? Oh, Princeton, soccer.
Yep.
Married. So you guys have known each other for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
probably 12 years old. I've known her since 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for y'all.
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting. And big wedding?
Yeah, 300 people. 300 people. Back
Where
in
is it
Jersey.
here? Back Jersey.
back
You
in
Jersey?
Yeah.
Are you like Jersey Shore?
Oh, that's where we grew up, yeah. Yeah,
So
Asbury
like the
Park,
Jersey Shore show, like when you watched it, was that like your favorite show?
About a half hour south of me, that's where it was, yeah.
Really?
Was it really?
Yeah, I know all the spots that they were at. Yep.
My man.
I know all of them. Yeah.
Are you friends with those guys?
I've never met any of them. I hope I got to meet some of them soon, sooner or later, I feel like.
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
Wow. That's
Bruce Springsteen's Stone Pony, I'm a town over from him.
Okay.
where he got his start at.
I think when you talk about where you're from, that's probably better.
Yeah, we lean on the Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, definitely
not the Jersey Shore.
I would lean there if I was you.
That's awesome.
Spence, is that okay? Can I put it there now?
Yeah, let
It's
me.
easier to get to.
Yeah, let me punch in just so the autofocus doesn't draw, and then Kenny.
That's right. I can move over.
See, I got methods, my man.
I know, my bad.
So Kenny, you mentioned beforehand that you haven't seen much of this show. On this show, we do sample beers. All right, not a whole lot of it. We'll just sample a couple.
Not
of
shotgunning anything.
Yeah, we're not shotgun. But we're gonna sample a couple. I think we should probably just kick it off by doing one real quick.
Let's do it.
You guys cool with that?
Let's do it.
Mistake or I might be mistaken. Correct me if I'm mistaken. Excuse me. When you were on RC show, you'd mentioned that you and Amy met in Florida, Marco Island on vacation.
No.
Oh, okay.
Her family's got a spot in Naples. My family was in Marco.
Oh, okay,
We're close to each other.
Okay.
There, but yeah, we met in New Jersey.
All right, tight. Well, I'm going to start us off with something I think my friend here will like because it's gonna get weird quick with the beer choices here. So I thought we'd start off easy. This is from Tampa.
Sweet.
All right, a little bit north. It's from Cigar City Brewery.
You've talked about them before.
Yes, it is my favorite brewery from Tampa.
Yep.
I feel confident in saying that. It's called Alai. It is their like flagship IPA.
Do you like beer?
I do. Not an IPA guy though.
Well, you're gonna hate this one.
We're
get a
IPA
shot?
here.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to.
So I'll get this dialed up. I do think though in the craft, you like craft beers? You jump into any of that?
More domestic style. Are you like a domestic beer guy?
Domestic,
like,
yeah.
the lights and those kind of things.
I do.
I
feel,
used to be too.
I remember my first beer. I do feel like in a craft beer journey though, it pendulum swings. Like I feel like when you get going in it and you get heavy into it, you go super, super heavy IPA, and then it like pendulum swings back to like lagers and lighter stuff.
Yeah, I'm still.
Yeah, you're heavy into the
swinging
IPAs,
IPA.
man. Yeah, you're swinging IPA. I'm gonna let you do. No, I'm gonna let you do this. Can you mind?
Sure, Spence.
Because dude, people. So I'm
They
notorious.
make fun of you for this?
Yeah, they make fun of me for a lot more than spilling beers, but I'm notorious. No.
No.
Give it to me.
No.
You gotta be kidding
perfect.
me.
Does it get any? That's like a commercial.
Perfect pour.
Yeah,
you.
but you're like a apex level athlete.
Used to be.
Yeah, you used to be an apex level athlete. Right? I can barely read.
athlete.
So, but yes, this is Alai. It is a IPA. It is if I remember correctly, 7.5% alcohol by volume. The IBU is 65. That's just a measurement of how bitter it's going to be.
Gotcha.
All right. So
Oh, it smells delightful.
yeah, we do this kind of like a wine tasting, Kenny. So have you ever done a
drink
wine
wine?
tasting?
I do drink wine.
Yeah?
I drink
Nice.
wine.
So what do you get on the nose there?
What do you smell? Just beer?
Just beer. Pretty distinct.
All right. Go ahead and dive in there, fellas.
Oh,
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's wildly
Come
delicious.
on now.
Kenny, do you hate that? Be honest.
Just tastes like just IPA. Just like it
It just tastes like an IPA.
Do you have any desire to explore craft beer? Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a
Try some new stuff. Yeah. Why not?
You're not just like a nah, dude. I'm firing for
No,
effect
I'll
over
try.
here.
I'll try and do
Crush some bush lights.
That's good. I like that a lot.
That's what I'm talking, man. That just reminds me
Well
of
done.
home. How would you rate that out of 10?
Me?
Yeah.
I like it a lot. 8.5. Wow. I like that.
I knew you would, man. I'll leave it with you.
I appreciate
What about
that.
you there, Kenny?
My rating is like it's a little bit.
But that's okay.
Yeah, I'd probably go 5.5.
All right.
Oh, that's very.
Are you just being nice, though?
No, I'd probably go 5.5.
Okay.
That was probably
So if you went to a
If I wanted an IPA, that was not a bad one to have.
that's not
Yeah.
bad. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Cool.
Good for you.
I'll
Kenny.
co-sign the 8.5. I love that beer, but it reminds me of home. So,
Florida boy.
Yeah, Tampa.
Nice.
So
That's good. I like it.
I have a nostalgic bias.
Listen,
But it's
call.
good. It's
call.
good
It's a
either
call.
way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cigar City Brewing.
Yeah.
So Jersey Shore.
Yep.
Is there a Jersey City?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Ask him.
Jersey Shore. Straight to Pitt.
Straight to Pitt. Yep.
And you played at Pitt for like 8 years, didn't you?
Something like that, right?
You got the Harry Potter degree, my brother.
Yeah, 5 seasons.
And is it true? Did Canada recruit you there?
He did.
Okay,
And
and
then before
then
I
left?
got there, he went to LSU.
Did you think about when he left, like leaving?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because was he one of the reasons you came?
He was my recruiter. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when I came to Pitt, I didn't have an OC. Like they were still working that out because I enrolled early to Pitt.
Okay.
So I got there in January. So they were still going through the process of like figuring out who the OC was going to be. And just being a quarterback. I mean, you want to kind of know what you're going into, especially, at the college level. So yeah, I had North Carolina was probably the other one that I was swaying towards.
Wow. And
ended up sticking with Coach Dews at Pitt and just kind of trusted it and it worked out well.
Who did they bring in as OC the first year?
Sean Watson.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think he's at Watford now, who they're going to play this upcoming season.
No way.
Yep.
And then you had Coach Whipple your 1 year or 2 years?
So
you remember?
3. I
3 years.
Coach Watson for 2, Whip for 3.
And so we had that in common, obviously. So Coach Whipple was his OC at Pitt, was my quarterback coach my first 3 years, I think. Won Super Bowl, the first one. I loved Coach Whip, and I know you think he's awesome too.
Yeah.
It was funny because I'd love to get your thoughts. I don't know as an OC if he was much different, but when I had him as a quarterback coach, he was like calm. He was like easy to talk to, would tell great stories in the quarterback room, whatever. And I experienced him as just like a really like a calming person, right? And then since I had played for him, I've run into a few people that he was their head coach at like UMass, and I forget where it was, UMass, I think, where they were like, "Hey, what'd you think, Coach Whipple?" I'm like, "I love Whip. He's crazy, right?" I'm like, "No, he was awesome." And they're like, "Are you serious?" Like, he would dog cuss us left and right, screaming at us, all this stuff. I'm like, "Coach, Mark Whipple? Like, are you talking about the same guy?"
Right.
And so I was blown away by these stories I would hear. That they loved him, but they would just say he was like crazy, very like intense, and I never saw that. But as a coordinator, was he that way too, or was he?
He had both sides. Like,
okay,
he knew like the quarterback and like just how that whole philosophy, and obviously being an OC, he knew when to get on like our offense. I mean, he got on me all the time too. Like, but I mean, that's the reason why we got to where we were. He coached us hard, and the standard was high. He had so much stuff that he had from you guys, and he was with the Browns and Philly too. So he had all that stuff that helped me kind of be prepared for this level now. I mean, a huge.
So he did yell at you?
Oh yeah.
Come on, Whip.
Yeah. Oh,
you can't yell at your quarterback. You got to keep his mindset and his mentality straight and focused.
He's probably yelling to him.
Yeah, that's
it's
right,
a big field. Right?
He would yell at me. I go have a good play. He's like, "See, why do I got to do that to you?" Yeah. Like, he would always spin it like that.
Don't make me do it.
Don't make me
do this to you.
Yeah. He goes, "Now I know how to coach you." I'm like, "All right."
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait. I'm gonna shoot him a text. What are you doing yelling at people?
That's so funny. What is that like when you get people from the league going back down to coaching college? Like, I feel like that would be intimidating at some level. Like when you go to play, well, I don't know if you can tell, Kenny, not an athlete. So I don't know the dynamic of having somebody come from the league, the place all you guys are trying to get to, right? Coming in and coaching you. Is that more intimidating than somebody that makes their career in the college level?
That's a good question. I mean, for a player that wants to get to the NFL, I always was drawn to that. Like, I'm like, this guy knows what it takes. He's going to run the system that they run. Like, for a quarterback and a younger player, I always kind of gravitated towards that. So when I found out Coach Whip was going to be the guy at Pitt, I was obviously really excited. And, just watching the tape at UMass and then the early meetings, I was like, I think we're going to be, all right with his stuff. And it worked out. Yeah, man. He just inside and out. He's got great confidence about him too. Like, sells his system and guys buy in. I think that's a huge piece, especially in the college world nowadays with NIL and stuff. Guys just all bouncing around. So yeah, man, he kind of turned our offense around there.
Yeah.
Did I always wonder, because they talk about it in the outside world. I don't know if I've ever really talked to a guy that went to Pitt to truly ask, is there any truth to the fact that it's one of the selling points to coming to Pitt is like sharing a building with the Steelers? Yep. Did they sell that to y'all when you were there?
Yeah.
Is it really, as a player, is it that big of a deal or not really?
I actually, during this time is the time that I watch you guys all the time. Like, how they had the benches outside the weight room, and like Coach T would actually stand on the field. Like, I would take advantage of that and just kind of just be off to the side, just watching. And you just kind of pick up little things that you don't see on the college field, like the timing that you guys had, like how quick the ball is coming out of your hand, the red zone ball placement stuff when you guys would do 7 shots. All that stuff, if you really want to take advantage of it, you can take advantage of it. So I think it's kind of up to the player how much he wants to kind of expose himself to it. And there's a ton of teammates I see out there now, and myself was out there, so it's cool.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, yeah. Evan's coming down.
Oh,
but I want to come back to that because I want to ask a very specific question about And I don't want to forget this. Don't let me forget this.
Great. What a spread.
What is it been out right now?
This is Evan. Evan, this
How you doing,
Kenny.
Evan? Nice to meet you, man.
We're not going to tell him who your favorite college team is.
He's a Penn State guy or West Virginia?
No, even worse for you. Even worse for you. No, I want to talk about when they walk off the field. I think they look down at us.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll just make for that. All right, Evan, Gator, what we got? So Evan does homework. He tries to research the person coming. Okay. So what he did is he sends me a list of food. And I'm like, they all look good. And I'm like, okay, what's the significance of this? And so what he tries to do is he tries to get food from maybe where you're from or where you went to school or where you live now, something like that. So with that being said, Evan, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. First, pardon me, buffalo chicken quesadilla. Me?
Yeah. You said you're up there practicing your lines.
Only the one about the blueberries.
Okay, don't mess it up. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Go with the quesadilla.
But there was a Sports Illustrated, I believe, had a write-up on rookies from last year and their favorite foods, and yours was buffalo chicken quesadilla.
Got it, my man.
And then disco fries is a Jersey thing. It's like a New Jersey poutine, mozzarella cheese.
You ever heard of it up there?
Brown gravy.
Not his part of Jersey.
No,
My part.
no. Strike two.
It looks good.
And then blueberry muffin, because like tomatoes, New Jersey is also.
You got
Take it home.
You got it, dude.
Take it home.
Yeah,
You got it.
What is New Jersey also?
they are good at making blueberries.
Yeah, they are. You know that's right.
And I put them in a muffin.
I put him in the muffin. Hey, so we got.
Dare I say the muffin man?
You talking about you live on Drury Lane? Is that the one you're talking about?
Drop buttons.
Oh no!
So Evan, thank you for this.
You're welcome.
We're excited to try it.
Enjoy.
And you're not going to tell him your favorite college team right now?
I'm.
No, don't do it because I know you're. This is. I told him that he's got to say it to you. I'm not going to put him out there.
I'm a Notre Dame fan.
Oh.
Well,
See, you said it.
Go and take this food back.
And he was so.
stock just cratered.
He did. Everyone was so worried about saying it because he was like, "What if there's like an outside chance I go to Permanis and I get a free sandwich and then I get Notre Dame and they're like, you can't have it anymore." So Permanis, don't take it. Don't hold Evan.
Yeah, hook him up. Hook him up.
So that's true. The buffalo or barbecue.
Yeah.
The barbecue chicken or
Buffalo chicken.
Well, this is all homemade, so you're gonna have to try it.
Do you have a favorite spot that you get it from?
Around here, stacked on campus.
yeah.
Pitt's campus they have the best buffalo chicken quesadilla, man. That's my go-to.
We can't wait to see if this rivals anything.
All right.
What about at home? Do you have a spot?
Spot at home for that? Honestly, the place I worked at growing up on my lunch break, I worked at a beach club.
Did you get it for free?
And I would get it for free.
Tastes better for free, brother.
A 30-minute lunch break after raking the beach in the morning.
Yeah,
and I was right to the
Beach
buffalo
club. You're
chicken
a
quesadilla.
beach guy, huh?
Yeah, 5 minutes from there.
Can your wife cook? I mean, you can say that. Okay.
We're trying to get there. We're working on it. I can't cook at all, so I'm a big DoorDash guy.
Yeah. So we have a handful of fan questions and this popped up a bunch. What is your favorite spot to eat in Pittsburgh?
I'm gonna go with Serafino's.
Serafino's
in Clifton, I believe the town
Okay.
is. Yeah, Italian spot. My first place, I think it was my official visit, my first visit to Pitt. Coach Deuce took me there. I've been going back there.
It's an Italian restaurant?
Italian.
I have not heard of him.
Yes.
Go up to La
What I feel like-
Tavola up on Mount Washington.
Yeah. Which spot?
What is it?
La Tavola up on Mount
Tavola?
Washington. Oh, yeah.
I have to hit that up next.
Carmela, Joe, we love you. Well, these fries are pretty good.
They look amazing.
What did you try so far? Quesadilla? How is it? Really good. Really good? Okay.
All right, Ev, we did it.
Evan, so far so good.
And by we, I mean you. We've done nothing. Good job.
Yeah, we did nothing. So,
Do the kids get a plate?
no. They ate dinner before. They're not part of the show. A little cameo they made, that's it.
The way you deliver that one. No. These kids ain't eating.
Yeah. So I'll talk while you eat real quick because then you're gonna have to answer this question, and you gotta be as honest as you can. Okay? Because now you're part of it, so you can probably be honest. I always said, and we talked about this as Steelers. Okay. They'd practice on like the far two fields, and they'd walk by our field on the way off. And the way that some of y'all players would walk by our field and look at us, we would talk about it as like the Steelers would talk about it. We're like, look at that guy. You know he thinks that he could come take us right now. Like AB and I would sit there and talk, and the guy would walk by like that guy's looking at you right now, AB, and he thinks that you're little. And he said he can lock you down. I guarantee he's saying and they would walk by with this look. One time, your boy Gentry got into it with one of the guys during the summer. You hear about that?
I did hear about that.
Yeah. They were talking trash walking by.
Word?
Yeah, like, what are we doing? But anyway, so they walk by a lot of times with it. I know it's just this look of like, okay, like sizing us up. Mm-hmm. There's got to be some truth to it.
I would say it may look like that, but I think some guys are kind of like in shock that they're at an NFL team. I promise. I promise. I don't think everyone wants to be there for sure, but I think a lot of guys are like, when they see you or AB out there, they're like, holy shit, that's better than it. You know, like I think that's kind of more of the reaction.
Well, that's what I was curious about, man. Like it seems like you took full advantage of the opportunity and studied as much as you could with the time that was allotted to you out there. What was it like for the first time you rolled up and you saw Ben? Because I mean, you 25, turning 25, right? So for the majority of your life watching football, this dude's performing at a high level. You know what I mean? And so to get accepted to Pitt, to join the team, to walk out there and see him there, what is that like for you?
Yeah, that's kind of piggybacking off on what I said. Like guys walking off, like you're just kind of it's like you said, it's guys that you've watched. You were drafted in 06. 04.
Yeah, he's older than me.
So I was 6 years old when he got drafted. So since I can remember, I was watching 7 in the the Black.
Thanks for coming, Kenny. See you later.
So my best friend was a Steelers fan growing up, man. We'd always watch Steelers games. Like you said, man, it's pretty surreal to like go out there and like you're walking on the stage, like you're walking to your field 2 fields down. But like as you're walking out, you're seeing these guys practice. It's kind of unbelievable.
Do you?
What's your best friend's name?
Chris Vivian.
Chris. What's up, brother?
Sweet. He's going to love that.
Holding it down.
He's going to love that.
Do you feel like you would have gotten the same amount of development in college had you went somewhere that didn't have access to NFL players in the capacity it did?
That's a good question. I think the development is more like with the coach that you have. Sure. You know, that's where you're going to get the most teaching and learning. So being with Coach Whipple for 3 years, obviously, is where I think I developed the most. And I think you kind of pick up some small things here and there, getting a chance to watch the pros. Yeah. So I think that the big piece is with your coach, and then you can kind of pick some smaller stuff up.
Yeah, it had to be huge to be with Whip.
Yeah.
Knowing what he knew, being with a couple different teams. Good guy, knows football real well.
So Ben, do you feel the opposite of that when you guys get a guy that comes up from college and hasn't really tested himself and proven in the league? Is it like, oh, okay, man, what are we doing?
Well, I think the longer I was in the league, I didn't think that early on. The longer I was in the league, the more I was like, what is this guy? Like, does he even? He never played. But you have to get past that because you can still be a great coach and not have played. Mm-hmm. You know, because some guys spend a lot of time studying, watching film, you know, doing whatever it is, being with other coaches. They're just not going to have that on-field perspective.
Sure.
Which I think it's good to have a backup quarterbacks, other guys that can help you with that. Yeah. I'm trying to think so my coordinator, Wiz Hunt played, I guess, but BA, Randy, Todd, Matt, none of them played in the league.
Yeah.
But they studied, they knew what they had to do, and if you put great people around you.
But by the time they got to you, they had been in the league before, right? They're coming from other teams, or they're coming from. But I'm saying
it's not Matt. Matt came right from college.
Yeah. So I'm saying if somebody comes straight up, is that, and I think at the professional level, I would imagine you guys have the professional courtesy to where like, hey, listen, it's not easy to get here. So if you got here, it's probably because you're capable of doing the job. So as
long as the person wasn't like I'll be honest, we've had some coaches, some position coaches that we've watched that were like college guys that were like that. Some veteran guys are like watching them do stuff, and we're like,
brother,
what's going on? like how are you making them better?
Yeah.
Like just drills over and over. Like are we at like a camp? Like what are we doing?
Yeah.
And so there's a time and a place for it, I think. But I'm never gonna knock a guy that works his butt off to get up there to do it. Because some guys, like I said, some guys just they put the work in, they're gonna make it happen. You know?
And you mentioned the importance of having like somebody who played. I was curious about this when I found out you were coming on, obviously, because your rookie season, you backed up Mitch for the first half of it, or wherever you came in week 6, 4?
5,
the Jets,
6,
the Jets.
Yep.
And you got to do that for what, second week? You had to come in for Tommy?
Week 2, yeah.
So you have some experience of being a backup quarterback. How important is the role of having, or how important is having a very solid backup quarterback? And then what is being one? What did that do for you when you had to start? I guess we can start with Ben.
It's amazing because I was going to ask that same question.
My man, look at that. Two peas in a pod over here. Huh?
No, I was going to ask you that because we're very similar in the situations that came in as rookies and for whatever reason, situation, both of us had to play early. I had great veteran guys that helped me. Charlie Batch, Tommy Maddox, Brian St. Pierre was here. I thought it was huge because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was just out there trying to make things happen. So to have those guys that were able to put their egos aside and help me, and I'm sure it wasn't easy for Tommy because he got hurt and he got healthy and was going to come back, but we didn't lose a game.
Sure.
Charlie got hurt early, but Charlie's always been one of the most amazing friends, teammates, quarterbacks that I've ever been around. So he was always super helpful and great as a guy. And so I enjoyed having that. It helped me a lot. And that's what I was going to ask you, having Mitch, who's got that experience, what's the relationship like? Because you can get a guy that is mad he lost his job. You can have a guy that wishes he was in the starting position, and they're not going to help you. They can almost – I've heard of going the other direction where guys are feeding bad information because they want him to get benched. I mean, it's crazy, but I know Mitch a little bit. Obviously, you know him. Was he a good? I'm sure you're not going to say anything negative about him here, but how helpful was it to have him, a veteran guy, to help you?
Yeah, man, he was like an extra coach for me, honestly. Like being in the league for how long he has been in it, being able to ask him questions and like be like, hey, where do you start with your eyes here? Like, what in your experience with this concept? Like, how does this work for you? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Like when we're starting a game plan, like he knows other teams. He's been around these defensive coordinators a decent amount of time. Like. He was awesome, man. Mason as well. Like just having two guys that have been in it that are open to like answering my questions and kind of being able to just have a soundboard off of, man, that have been in my shoes and obviously have done it for a long time. I can't thank those guys enough. Extremely grateful for the quarterback room that we have. Coach Sully too.
No, don't give Sully all that.
I knew it was coming there. I knew it was coming.
Coach Sully's a man. So we got a good room for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, when you come off the field, it'll be interesting to see how much it changes as you go. When I came off, I'm sure Sully grabs you right away. Yep. See the first person to get you, sit you down
that corner.
Yeah,
the corner. Yep.
He's like, I know the corner. I know the corner.
When I would come off, coaches knew I would always have my whether it was Charlie, Bruce, Landry a little bit at the end, Byron, Mike, Vic, whoever it was like, I don't want to talk to any coach when I come off. I want to sit down with one of my guys and we'll talk about it. Yeah. And then they would know that it was okay. Now it's time.
Now it's time to come in.
Yeah, but obviously being a rookie, it's gonna be different. But when you come off, are you one of those guys that wants to look at it and look at the pictures, look at the when I was video now, it used to be just pictures, right? It's a video too.
It's pictures, no video.
Okay, just preseason video. No,
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Y'all don't get video?
I thought they did for just the
brother. We got Amazon Prime stat and everything. Y'all can't get videos.
It used to be Polaroid. It used to be pictures. Like, remember Coach Kyle for the thing. But
my man was over there drawing it.
Anyway, are you one that likes to get it, process it, and be done with it? Do you want to sit down and kind of like think about it? Like what goes through your mind after a series? Both. I want to hear it both. Say it's a good when you drive down the field, you throw a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Compared to you throw an interception. Is the mindset different when you come off?
Yeah, the successful plays I don't ever get too caught up on. It's like if there was a negative play, I want to see it kind of. That's the first one I'll go to, and I just want to see like what did I not see, what did I miss, where did they throw at me that I wasn't prepared for or something? Is it a game plan thing? Did I see it before and they just caught me? So it's kind of one of those things. And then the successful ones, like you want to see why it worked. Obviously, like it was busted covers, double move. Like how did we get them and can we do it again? So I think it's kind of like you want to get to those first, like, and just knock those out, and then kind of see how the drive progressed. But
that's funny because as you're saying that, I think I was the same way. Like when you do something bad, you want to grab them right away and be like, "What just happened?"
Yeah.
And I think about like if I threw a touchdown, like sometimes I don't even look at it because it's like it worked. I'll figure out what like later. I mean, I still would, but the urgency was way different. I think it's going congratulating guys, nice job, this, that, and the other. That's interesting. You say that. I was the same way, looking at the negative first because you're just like, I don't want to get it like what happened and get it out of my like. Let's move on as fast as you can. Yeah, I hear that. Do you think? I don't know how to ask this question, but because you played in Pitt or at Pitt, you're kind of the hometown guy, right? I mean,
some sense, yeah. I've been here for 7 years.
You've been here.
My 7th year now,
right?
In Pittsburgh.
So when you got drafted, I wonder too, like for the fans, like if you hadn't played for Pitt, say you played at North Carolina, wherever you said, would they have been clamoring for you like they did because you're at Pitt? I don't know that. I think that they were extra motivated to get you because they'd seen you for a few years. I can't think of anything like other than James Conner, but he truly was the hometown guy.
Yeah,
Charlie Batch was here but didn't go to Pitt. I think going to Pitt, gives you that hometown street cred
feel. Yeah.
Did you feel extra pressure when Pitt like drafted you? Like, was there extra like? Because when you've taken the field in that Jets game and every time you come on the field, the games we've been to, I mean, they love you, which is awesome. Is that because you played at Pitt? Is there some of that like they love that rollover that they've been watching you play at Pitt and dominate at Pitt for so many years now? Was there extra pressure to come here because of that, or was it more like this is going to be really cool?
I think it's just I looked at it as a cool experience, being able to like have those college fans that supported me on Saturdays, on Sundays they went and watched you, and now like I'm there on Sundays, and it's I think it's just kind of a full circle. Like I took it as a really cool moment and like a really cool opportunity to be able to do that. And I don't know if any of the quarterback has done that. And, playing at Pitt, like you said, you got James at running back, and he obviously was awesome there. But to be like one of the first guys to do it and be in the position that I'm in coming after you, like I just look at it as a great opportunity to have.
And as you just segued that, because I think about when I got here, it was, how are you going to fill Terry Bradshaw's shoes? I'm like, Terry Bradshaw was done 30 years ago. Right. Like, what do you mean? There's been a lot of quarterbacks between us. Coming in the next year after I got done, is that adding stuff, or is it more like what's your mindset going into it?
Yeah, I mean, because where you're at, like at year 17, like it's like almost like you're a coach. I feel like you've been around, like it's your system, like you kind of running the show. And then when I'm coming in, like we're going back to ABCs, and I had to learn everything from the start. So I think it was kind of like myself obviously adjusting to the NFL, and I think the guys around me adjusting to not being with you. And being like, okay, like we got to start from here because, I obviously just walking in the door, and like where I'm at obviously is nowhere near where you were at. So like I had to just try and like speed that learning process up as fast as I could.
I wonder how much the offense, I mean, I know it changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of went, I think Matt kept some stuff in that I was comfortable with and that we knew. And then I know there was a learning curve with some of the guys that were there with me kind of with some of the changes. That's interesting you say that. I think, is the NFL offense a lot different than what the college one was?
I'd say Whip was really, I mean, his stuff was all from the pros. So like the concepts and stuff, it was really the terminology and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Formationally was a little different. Like that was the stuff that you have to like just kind of invest time and just, reading plays, looking over the playbook constantly, just so it's like second nature to you. And then when you get there, obviously, you just take off when you feel that comfortable. So.
I wonder about that offense.
Just in the 39 minutes and 20 seconds.
Hungry?
No, actually, I did eat a whole bunch before I got here. But I will. I know. I eat a lot for how small I am. But in the 30 minutes that we've been down here chopping it up, dude, it's very evident that you're a student of this game, that you care about this game, that you care about learning this game. How is your football IQ developed from college to the pros in the 1 year that you had?
Yeah. Sorry, let me finish here.
Hey man, do you, brother? I know this seems like a legit show. It's not, dude. You can just hang, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I feel like honestly, and like from the preseason to the end of the season, like I feel like I completely changed almost like mentally. Just seeing the amount of coverages that you see in the NFL, that college can't prepare you for that. I think it's these guys' jobs to play football and win on Sundays. College kids, man, like you see a lot of bus assignments in college. It just doesn't happen on Sundays. And the volume of defense and the volume that goes into a game plan, and those first 5 weeks of being the backup helped me kind of get my routine down to where when I became the starter, The only thing that changed was the practice reps in the game. Like my week stayed the same in terms of how regimented I was with the film study. So I think that really, those 5 weeks did help me a lot to be prepared.
Was it, what was that transition period like? Because Mitch gets pulled, you come in, it's that spark, you're performing well, you get injured, right? You get a concussion.
Yeah,
I thought you went to protocol
against Tampa Bay.
Against Tampa.
Yep.
And so then Mitch comes back, and I think he ended up winning that game, right? He goes out and wins that game, but then you're back. And is that transition period, was it as turbulent in behind closed doors as it felt as fans watching? Because we were just like, who's it going to be? We don't know who's healthy. We're not sure. Was it as turbulent for you guys, or were you guys pretty much a cohesive unit, knowing like, hey man, tag? Because what's your guys' next man up? You guys always talking about next man up. Were you guys prepared like that, or was it still like, man, we don't know what's happening on this side?
I think Coach T does a really good job of communicating. Like we all knew where we were at that point. So once he gives the orders, it's kind of, you're just going, and, until you hear something else, then then it changes. So I think the way he communicates and kind of just lays it out for us, there's no like hidden agendas or anything. Like there's no, guessing like who's it going to be or anything. He just kind of says it like it is. And I have a lot of respect for him that way. I'd rather it that way than the other way around.
Sure.
So I think the way he communicates, like everyone was on the same page and we kind of just rolled that way.
Yeah. I do got one more question here, because you mentioned, following future Hall of Fame quarterback sped up the learning process. Do you think if you went to a team that did not have a future Hall of Fame quarterback leaving their team, or maybe was more unsure about their quarterback position, that your learning curve wouldn't have been expedited?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like, I was lucky to land in this place, to be honest. Like just the franchise and everything that happened before me. You look at other places and it's just kind of more of a rocky road. Like they're building there. Like I felt like I came to a place that had a really good foundation, obviously, with where he left off. And I was just trying to catch up to get to that, So I think I was so lucky to land in this place, and just, that's why I just kind of work real hard at it, just to kind of uphold the standard that's been set by him and Terry before me and all these other great players. So, I definitely was lucky in that sense.
Well, I think they're lucky to have you, man. I think it really is. What, who'd you root for growing up?
Eagles.
Is that the closest team to Jersey?
So, they were probably an hour. Giants were probably 45 minutes north. They were west. So.
Eagles.
Yeah, Dad grew up in Philly.
Oh, did you go to games?
A lot, yeah.
Really?
The McNabb era was my Dawkins, Westbrook. Those are my guys.
Against those guys. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know those guys. Is that weird? Is that weird that you're like, yo, man, these are my heroes, McNabb, and you're like, yeah, those are my opponents?
Yeah.
Is that weird for you?
It's
Has
that
settled in?
He was 6 years old, man. We've already discussed it.
I know, but like, yes, you're the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, that's probably settled in because you had to go to work. But do you, has it really settled in for you that these people whose posters you had on your wall, you're walking into Lincoln Financial and you're like, yo, dog.
Yeah.
This is like the Eagles.
So the 2017 game, you guys were at the Eagles?
Okay.
I was at that game. Yep. So I've been going to games since that was the last game I think I went to, maybe at the Link. The first one I was at was 5 years old.
Have you played there yet?
Yeah, we played there last year.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Did you play that game?
Yeah, that was the second start, maybe.
Forgive me.
Second or third start.
Is that cool?
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
That's
man.
awesome.
I was walking that stadium so many times, and the fact that it wasn't the tunnel that I was originally ever picturing myself out of. It was the other tunnel, but still, I was getting booed and stuff thrown at me, but it was still looking around this is what I've dreamed.
I'm one of you guys.
Yeah, exactly. I was one of them screaming, and now I'm getting screamed at. So it was kind of full circle.
Was it when you guys were at Pitt? Did you guys get introduced as individuals or only as a team?
Yeah.
I was wondering what the difference is. When you ran out of the tunnel, is it in a Pitt game compared to the Steelers game? How much different is it?
It's a lot different.
It is.
It's a lot different, man.
I talk to guys all the time. They're like, no, I played it for 100-some thousand. What's 60-some thousand or what's 70,000? I'm like, just trust me, the NFL game's a lot different.
Different. The intro is a really cool moment, man. When you're with the guys you're about to go out there with to play 60 minutes, and you're all waiting to get your name called, and there's something about that moment I think that's really, really it's kind of between you just kind of a moment with yourself, you're about to run out of a tunnel NFL stadium and go play on Sunday. It's just pretty to get goosebumps thinking about it.
That's wild, man. So you had talked about the Steelers having all this legacy when you're talking about Bradshaw and I mean, even sitting down here, we had Coach Cower on here last episode, man, and I felt like a fly on the wall hearing all the stuff, the stories, man. And I feel like the Steelers are a franchise that values legacy, obviously tradition, and honors the history, probably more so than any other team in the league. What has it been like for you to try to balance the mix of honoring what has come before you while still trying to usher in a new era?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I'm kind of leaning on the vets that are here, like that I'm playing with. Like you kind of like, it's better to be seen rather than be heard. I think early on, like I was just kind of following those guys' lead, seeing how they do things and how they operate. Like TJ, Minka, Cam, like the guys to watch, right? And you kind of just watch and you fall in line. You kind of see how it works, and then you just continue that legacy and how things are supposed to be done. So I'd say kind of leaning on the guys that I'm playing with right now.
But it's funny because you just mentioned 3 defensive guys.
Yeah.
So there was no real offensive guys, right? Because who's the oldest guy? Chooks, maybe?
Up front? No, it's Isaac. Isaac up front.
Okay.
He got here. So
you're one of, even as a rookie, you're kind of forced into a leadership role.
Right.
When I got here, I didn't have to because we had a lot of veteran guys. Like we were a totally veteran team.
Yep.
That's what that'd be the biggest difference I would say between what you had to do and I do. I was thrown in as a starter and I just had to start and not screw it up. You're thrown in as a starter, but they're also asking you to be a leader too, because one, because of your position, but two, because you don't have veteran guys on offense. So that's like double dipping on your play a little bit. And I don't know if that adds the extra pressure for you, or if you just like I'm not worried about that. I'm just trying to go.
Yeah. At first, it was like I got to get this offense down, and then like once you become really comfortable with it, and then you can start taking that leadership role. And obviously, you got to go out there and win games, or no one's going to listen to you at all. So I was like, I got to go out here and handle business and earn my teammates' respect before I can be that leader. But having guys like Cam's next to my locker, and just kind of like talk to him and just kind of see how he goes about his business on the defensive side, kind of helped me with the offense. And Mason Cole was his first year was last year, but he's become a really tight friend of mine, being a center. Obviously, you know how that relationship is. So having he's been around a little bit. So yeah, I think we're all kind of learning that together, and we're kind of building each other up, and we're kind of finding our identity on that offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I think you said it too. Is I love what you said, being seen, not heard. I wish more rookies would take that mentality. And it's hard for you as a quarterback because you need to be heard too.
Right.
And I think it's funny as a guy trying to earn that leadership stuff. I could tell by your play. The way you do it sometimes is by being a little extra tough, taking that extra hit, staying up, doing things like that. There were a couple of times this year that you were like got a little feisty, getting in fights with people.
Sounds familiar.
Was that? Well, I've always said quarterbacks and if you're a quarterback that's loved by your guys, quarterbacks and goalies are the two positions that can always start a fight and never have to finish. Guys are coming in fast.
Yeah.
Was that just your? Is that just your attitude? Who you are? Is that your feistiness, or is that like a little bit of let me get guys fired up, or what is that?
Yeah, no, that was all me.
Just who you are.
Yeah.
Straight Jersey.
That was all me.
Sure.
That was all me, man. Yeah. My dad was a linebacker growing up. I wanted to play defense growing up, so I think I have a little bit of that in me. So yeah, I think that's where that came from. Yeah.
Is it weird for you to be heralded as like a hometown hero in a city that you're not from?
It's always funny. Sometimes I have to correct people, man. They're like, "Oh, he's from here." I was like, "Nah." I was like, "I've been here for a while, but I'm not from here." I think I take real pride in being from New Jersey and also playing at Pitt and now playing professionally here. So I feel like I got 2 homes for sure. But yeah, it's funny how like a lot of people want like take pride in it. It's cool to have that. But I definitely love both spots.
Yeah, because I feel like Jersey's one of them spots, man. You from Jersey, like you're proud to be from Jersey.
Yeah, man.
I used to tour as a public speaker, and I went into a spot. I actually told Amy this one time because she told me when she said she was from Jersey. I was like, this dude rolled up to me and said, "Hey, man, in Jersey, you gotta earn it in Jersey." I was like, "Oh," and this is after the event. I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Oh, we about to fight?" Like, and he goes to dap me up. He goes, "And you freaking earned it, bro." I was like, "Okay, cool, man."
Yeah, I think the personalities are pretty similar. I'd say like New Jersey and Pittsburgh. Like it's blue collar people. It's tough people. And I think I kind of I feel comfortable being around. Both.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all Pittsburghers, I would never compare y'all to Jersey Shore. I'm just saying right now, but I get the toughness blue collar, but I'm never gonna call y'all Jersey Shore. Okay,
that's the headline. You heard it here first. Kenny Pickett compares Pittsburgh to Jersey Shore.
No, do you guys have your own language up there?
Own language. See, that's the problem is the
just
show.
The way y'all talk.
The people that are on the show are from New York, so they come down from New York to be in the summer on the shore. That's why
just ditch responsibility for those
that's
people.
That's why I said I was like, I don't know them. I think they're hilarious.
They give y'all a bad name?
Yeah, they give us a bad rep where I'm from. Like the people where I'm from are not like that. So it's just a little. That's the only issue.
Well, see, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, no,
I thought everywhere from Jersey is just like the people from Jersey Shore.
You thought all of them? You thought in the entire
Shooky and
Snooky?
oh, Snooky and
Did you call Shaka Khan? What did you say?
Mike the situation, right?
Yeah.
Paulie D.
Oh, Paulie
right?
D.
He's like a big time DJ, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a DJ. Yeah. You know Paulie D?
Yeah.
You do?
No,
I
I was
know
saying,
of them.
you guys are boys?
That's what everyone asks me. They're like,
Coming up next on Football with Ben Roethlisberger, Paulie D.
They're like, Jersey Shore, like, I'm like, oh yeah, we went to high school together. Like, I don't know these people, man. Like,
That's like
Did you have your hair gelled, like really like heavy gel?
No,
like
I got a
hair?
buddy who does heavy gel though. He'll put it in there.
Have you always had long hair like that? I would say this. It does bother me sometimes. It feels like you care more about your hair than anything. As soon as you come off the field, you're constantly doing like.
Where's the Head and Shoulders endorsement?
Yeah, that's all Troy, man.
All right.
He's got to pass it on. Hopefully, that's the next legacy that can get passed down.
Yeah, well, I'm learning something new because I just assumed everyone from Jersey was that way. So
No, dude, I'm
good.
I did a couple summers where we played the Wildwood Convention Center.
Yep.
Yeah, on the boardwalk.
South Jersey's boardwalk. Yeah.
Dude, so we were walking the boardwalk after a show, and I watched a seagull swoop in and grab a piece of pizza out of a little girl's mouth while she was eating it.
Yeah,
and I thought, I'm like, these are fearless, bro.
Yeah. If you have food open, like they'll swarm.
Yeah,
swarm you on the beach. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I got one more beer for us as we are continuing our journey here. This is from this is a heavy hitter. We're gonna take this one slow, boys. All right. This one is from a brewery called Chimay. Snooky? What? It is a French.
Oh.
It is a French.
Français?
Yeah, it is.
You speak French?
No, I got you here, dog. Here you go. Here you go.
Cinquant.
That's how it's pronounced. And that's how it's pronounced. It is a strong blonde ale.
Yes.
And it is 10% alcohol by volume. And
150.
Is French for 150. It's, as we all know.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Is French for 150. So
what language did you take in high school? Spanish?
Spanish.
How well do you speak Spanish?
None.
Didn't pay attention.
So that's what we're walking into, boys. 10%er. It is there.
My nose is a little stuffy for some reason. Right
Is
now.
it?
Yeah.
Them allergies, cuz. Do you have allergies?
I used to.
No?
Not bad. My Bodie has bad allergies.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's what I was wondering.
Eye swollen allergies. You know what we're doing?
What's that?
You have allergies?
I do.
Bad?
Pollen.
Pollen?
Like,
Get you.
We've been doing every morning. We give them a little honey.
Is that to do
A
it?
little local honey. So you get the local honey. So both of us take it together, put on a little cracker, and take like a teaspoon or whatever of honey.
It helps?
We've been doing it for like the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. He hasn't taken a Claritin or a Zyrtec or anything in like weeks.
Y'all holistic now. I put honey in my coffee for the sweetener.
You have allergies?
Nah, because probably because
honey.
of my man.
It's got to be local honey though, because you're getting the local stuff. Have you ever heard that?
no.
No, you should try it.
What's the
man.
science? What's the science?
Yeah, what's the
Is it
science
just-
behind it?
Well, because the bees use the local pollen to make the honey.
Well, that
So you're basically getting like,
that checks out to me.
I mean, whether or not, I just, even if it's not true,
That
I
sound
just
real good.
told y'all
It's
on
true
it.
now.
It sounds like you about to go on Joe Rogan. That sounds great. Yeah. What do you think
Yeah, what do
there?
you think,
You already take it?
I vote the first one over this one.
Really? Okay.
he-
So you hate this one
He
as much
gave,
as
he gave a
This
look
one's a
like,
little,
this is
this
awful.
one's got a little more bite to it, like you said. A little more bite
hey,
to it.
This isn't like a local Pittsburgh.
No,
beer.
this is 10%. This is a Know Your Limits, Master Wayne. All right. Which you were in a Batman movie. Is that your crowning achievement in your career? Being in a Batman movie?
After getting Kenny Pickett on the show?
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
yeah, of course. A close second. That get you? Is
It's,
it?
I mean,
Hold on. You just looked at my eyes and went, whoo.
well, we've had worse. Not worse. We've had stronger, for sure.
That was a $13 beer.
I owe you.
No. But like, and for it to be that bad,
No, it's
Oh,
listen,
okay.
It's not bad. It has a unique French flavor.
it tastes. No way, that's too much.
Saison?
That's too much.
Too much what?
Did you do it?
Too much what?
How is
Too
it?
much
Did you?
what,
Are these like
Spence?
trick glasses on my end?
Spence,
Dog, you poured that straight.
it's gonna just come like one little drop's going down like the commercial.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I haven't had it yet.
It's not the strongest thing we've ever had, for sure. It just has a unique.
Oh yeah, that's that's a
You see what I'm saying?
who is right. That's
It's a little different.
yeah.
A little different.
Tastes like someone
It
spiked
doesn't
your beer.
taste like an ale at all.
I think it kind of tastes alien.
I don't.
No,
I don't. I think it tastes like
that's heavy.
like rubbing alcohol.
That's heavy. Oh yeah, you do get that on the front end, the rubbing alcohol. So we used to do this without the podcast. We would sit down here and watch games and do this. And we thought it was hilarious because we have no idea what we're talking about.
Right. That's not very good.
No.
The second one, I thought it was going to be better.
I thought the second one was better.
Did you read the back what it's from?
Belgium. It's from Belgium. No,
it's not from Belgium.
Dog, it's a Belgium.
You just said it was from France.
They speak French in Belgium, I think.
No. I don't think
Brother, it says no. What do they speak in Belgium?
German.
That's probably right. But dude, that sounds pretty good. No, man, look, it says Belgium. This is from Bières de Chimay, Belgium. What you talking about, man? But they call it Cinquant.
Belgium.
They speak French.
What language do they speak in Belgium?
Do you know this, Kenny?
Oh, they speak 3 languages.
Okay.
Well, like most people.
Yeah. America's the only country that does it. We're the worst.
Their official languages are German.
All right. I'll give you that.
There you go.
Dutch.
That makes sense. That checks out.
And I don't know what the last one
is. It's French, dog. Come on, man. What you talking about? The last one. Sorry, they have it in French.
French, something. Yeah, so they do speak French. So you're right. You're kind of right.
Yeah, but I'm always kind of right.
True.
Mostly wrong. But I think it may, unless you want
to. 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's follow them up with that.
2? I'd give that a 7. Yeah. I give it a 7. It got that Uptown Funk in it for sure, but it's not bad.
I don't want to drink a full one.
No, I'm not. Unless I'm crashing on that couch. So, you know what I mean?
But if you've given it a 7, that means you're going to go and you're going to order a couple.
Is that what that means?
If it wasn't 10%, if it was
I'm not
7.5.
Yeah.
Would you?
What's a 5 mean?
Drink
then?
multiple of them?
No, I'm not drinking multiple of them.
Why aren't you drinking multiple then?
Because it's heavy.
But that's what I'm saying. If it's not heavy, you like the flavor enough. That's what I'm saying. If it
goes
lower ABV, and it was tasted the exact same.
Let me try. I don't know. No, I think
5 means that
we just making this up right now.
I could have one. I could have another one. I could have more than one at a restaurant, regardless of strength.
It's a 5 then. Regardless of strength, I don't know about that.
Regardless of strength.
It's a 4.8 then.
He's going down like, I know he's
so it's a 2.
It's a 2 might be harsh. I won't say 2. I'll say 3.5 because I've had way
Kenny's
worse.
staying at 2.
I'm going to stay at 2 because I'm not a fan.
We've had work. But
do you drink coffee?
No.
Me either. See, something else we got in common.
It's a quarterback thing, huh? Yeah.
Well, you better not have stout then at the end.
No, dude, I had one though. But we're not gonna do that. Yeah. But I think we'd be remiss if we didn't have the last 2 Pittsburgh Steeler quarterbacks in the last 20 years here, and we didn't talk about some football.
Oh yeah, we can talk about football.
Yeah, I think unless you guys don't want to, we can totally talk about Pokemon or anime. I know you're big into anime. No, but
football question.
Well, we have plenty. So we dumped this out to people that follow the show, and they have a bunch of questions for you
You
guys.
have practice tomorrow, by the way.
I do.
What time you gotta go? What time you gotta be up in the morning?
Be up at 7. Not too bad.
We probably shouldn't go too much longer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
listen, you tell me.
he's QB1.
I know.
Go to bed.
I don't know what that responsibility entails.
I'll tell Coach T I was here, man. He'll go.
Matter of fact, let's. I'm gonna call him right now. Hey, Kenny, a little bit late.
Kenny gonna be a little late.
That'd be so funny if I called right now, put on speakerphone.
You think
Are you
answer?
cool if Kenny skips tomorrow?
You can get an answer?
Will he answer?
Yeah. The night before practice.
What time is it? He's probably asleep.
Yeah, he's not asleep.
No, you don't
he's
think
sitting in the basement having a cocktail, or he's watching film in his little thing. But go ahead. Anyway, What are you gonna say?
No, I think so. Your rookie season, man, was fun to watch. I think there was a couple glimmers of what felt like Pittsburgh Steeler football that we know. In the final game-winning drives. So I think obviously throughout your career, you've been known for that. That you are literally ranked in doing that. I'd love to get your take on what you saw watching that. And then, your experience in actually pulling it off.
Yeah, no, I would say people ask me all the time, like, what's it like to be retired? Do you miss it? And I'm like, I don't miss a thing. I said, I take that back. When in the fourth quarter, not just the fourth quarter, but you had the ball like 4 or 5 times at the end, like in the latter half of the year, like there was like
came down to it a lot. Yeah, I think we had 4 wins. In the
those were the only times I was jealous of you, having the ball, having a chance at the end of the game to have the ball in your hands. And I'll tell you what, it is not easy to do. It's I enjoyed that moment. Like I want to have. I say all the time, yeah, of course I'd love to be up by 40 and I just sit there and relax. Yep. But if I'm not going to be, I don't want the defense to be on the field. Yeah. I want to have the ball. I want to have a chance. And it just there's something about the speed of it. It goes so much faster, but in my mind it slowed down. I think a lot of it was because I'd love to ask you this. Like I called a lot of my own stuff in the 2-minute because you're out there and you don't have time to like get plays most of the time. Even if it was like a dead ball, like I would like to keep going unless there were times I needed a mental breather. But it's like you're just going, and it's just like there's so much. You feel like so in tune with your guys. You see what the defense is doing. Usually they're more vanilla because they don't have time to do stuff. But I love giving little signals and just eyeball and winking, doing things like that, and calling things like, not backyarding it because you're still doing stuff, but it's just the feel of it at the end of the game. It just felt so good to me. And you had a couple of those this year. I'd love to talk about a couple of them specifically, but I'd love to get like, what is your mentality at the end of a game? Like, ball, you want it, you not want it? What's the thought? Yeah,
man. Watching on the sideline, you just feel so helpless. Like you just got, like I can't do anything. You're like, please. Yep. You're always like hoping for a sack, a pick. Like you're rooting them on. But you much rather have the ball. Like you're not nervous. Like there's a calming, like presence about it almost. Like you're so locked into what you have to go out there to do. I always focus on getting that first completion and just getting it rolling. I kind of like what you said about if it goes out of bounds, a lot of teams do huddle, but I kind of like if you get back on the ball, those guys stay in the game.
Rhythm.
So and I think the pass rush slows down. Those guys get gassed. You get into a rhythm of the coverage. Are they a Tampa team? Are they a man team? And then that's like you said. Then you can start taking advantage of what you're seeing. If they have like a fallback call or you just like you said, you just get like into it. My job, Sully does his presentations. Mine was the 2-minute, so I was very in tune on what was going on in the 2-minute. And I think, at some point it becomes more players, not plays-ish. When you need that play, lean on the guy that that's going to make it. So I think, there's a lot of things that go into it, but like you kind of hit it home with like just how you feel about having the ball in your hand.
And those moments too, I noticed, it seemed like with you too, like those are the moments too that certain guys just come alive. Like I'd be watching you guys play and be like, why has Pat not caught a ball yet? But then sure enough, in the 2-minute, you throw it to him 4 or 5 times.
He gets 4 catches for 60.
Yeah, and it's just like, golly, like what are we waiting on? But there's always those guys that just understand the game of football when the moment's on the line. That maybe they're supposed to be here, and then at the last minute they see you do something. Like having that feel for the game, and I can tell you have it. You're much more of a runner than I ever was. Of course, what's your longest NFL touchdown rush?
1 yard, maybe 2 yards.
Mine's 40.
I got some catching up.
Mine's 40. But no. But still, you're much more mobile than I am. But there's something about that ad-libbing, like being able to scramble, getting yourself a couple yards, making the last-minute throw. There was the home game, I think it was the Raiders. The Raiders a game winner where you threw a seam up the middle, like to Pickens. Looked the safety off, threw it down the right seam. Yeah. Awesome. I was at that game. We were watching it. And as you guys were driving, I think I was at that game. Pretty sure. You were driving. When that play happened, like before the play was happening, I saw they were rotating to a single high. Yeah. And I saw Pickens inside. I'm like, he's got to be going. When you put certain guys in certain positions,
speed of 3, man.
There's a reason something's there.
Right.
And you looked the safety off to perfection and put a dart on him, and it was like I saw it coming, like it was like happening to me. Like,
right, you're watching.
He's got it. I'm like hit him down the seam, and sure enough, you did it, and it was awesome to watch. And you had a few of those this year. Does it ever get easier? Does the challenge just or is it do guys? As I found too, there'd be added pressure by other guys like, we got this. Ben's got this. Oh boy, hope I got this. I believed in myself. But you feel a little bit added pressure. Do you feel it yet, or is it still too early for that?
I think it might be still too early for that. I'm still getting my feet under me. I struggled in practice with the 2-minute. Like not having the stoppage of clock was the big thing for me.
But don't get discouraged because the defense has nothing to lose, so they don't care about getting beat in practice. So don't let that get you. But
the game was always easier for me. I think
for sure,
of that.
For sure, because no one wants to get beat in the game, but in practice they don't care.
Right, they're jumping stuff. That's a good point. But yeah, so I was struggling in practice, and I was like just pissed off about it, and Coach T could tell, and he just kept putting me in those situations, and it got improvement. I failed the Miami game. Like we got down there, we were close, forced a stupid play, trying to make a play happen when I should have just took off and got out of bounds. Yeah. So learning from those experiences really helped me to that back half of the season where we were successful. Raiders and Baltimore week.
Yeah, that was awesome. What was the game that Naj caught one in the front?
Baltimore.
Okay, so. The season is long gone. Season's over. Okay. You weren't throwing that ball down.
I was.
No, you were not.
Swear.
No, you were throwing Sims was right behind him.
I was throwing to Sims though. It was way behind Sims.
I know.
I wasn't throwing.
You weren't
Sims.
looking at. Oh,
Dude,
come on. We want
not,
you need to.
I was not throwing
oh,
Sims.
my
I was not throwing Sims. That's like people would ask me about the fake slide. They think everyone thought I'd practice that.
No, that's too hard to do.
Thank you.
That's too. That one I won't. That one I won't. I believe you on. I don't believe you.
You don't believe it? All right.
No. I was watching your eyes, and I'm like, no way. No one throws the ball that hard to the running back right there. But anyway, good job. It was fun to watch you this year. I think that Pittsburgh got a good one in you. Can you name the 3 rivers?
Ohio, Monahaga, the Mon, Monahaga.
Come on.
The Mon.
Remix.
Yeah, Ohio, Mon.
That was the easiest.
Allegheny.
There you go.
Okay, I'm just making sure because that was a rookie
I've been
thing
here
you
too
got
long
to do.
not to get that. That would have been pretty embarrassing.
Well, yeah, especially because we went to college here. You asked Pat that
I've lived
during
here for 7 years.
on the river. So yeah,
literally on the river.
Or do you? That was a joke, but that's
Very
hilarious.
close. Very close.
So you asked Pat that in a live show that we did, and during that same live show, both Pat and Ben texted you to see who you would text back first.
Yep.
Which text
What
message?
were you doing, by the way? Would you get a text like
Yeah,
right away?
I was somewhere and I was literally on my phone and it was like zzz, like right back to back and I was just like, there's gotta be together.
Who's came in first? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I kind of checked my phone. It was like
Back to
they were just right next to each other. I forget who it was.
That's funny.
Yeah.
We would settle a score. Yeah, that was a hilarious moment.
That's all right. We know Pat. You don't have. That's all right, Pat. You lost.
So after that Raiders and Ravens game, did you feel like that was a turning point to where you were able to have a little bit more leadership on the team there?
Yeah, I think in those moments, when you come through in those moments, I think it's big, for your teammates to see that and the confidence just grows. And I thought we were really I thought we were playing a lot better football towards the end there. And, you were hoping we get a shot and it didn't go our way in that last week. But I thought we were starting to trend upward and play a lot better football in that back half of the season.
So you're in a tough division.
Oh yeah.
It's a tough division. Yeah. There's 3 really good quarterbacks out there. And I think you are on your way to be right there in that category with them and a couple and add some experience. But is it a lot different playing in the North?
The games are different, man.
Yeah.
The hits are different. Like it's just a different. And I think a lot of the other teammates I had that played at other places, they're like, dude, these games are different.
Is one more than the other? Do you know which one? Which one of those 3 is the? Did you feel was like, okay, this is a different level?
They were all pretty similar. I mean, the Ravens linebacking core is really good. And I think I hit it off an inside zone of Naj, and I heard some popping in there. I'm like, I was like, this is different than I've heard. It was just different. Like it's the intensity's up. The fans love it. Like it's really cool to play there, especially on the road. The road games are unbelievable. So it's cool.
Yeah, that Baltimore, that Raven week was always something different.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is gonna be a painful one.
Yeah.
Painful one.
Find a way.
What's your thoughts on the? I didn't even look at the schedule. Like your schedule, are you excited about the schedule? Like, is there?
Yeah, I think obviously open up with San Fran's a great, great
At San Fran or here?
home.
That's like the first time I've been a home game forever.
Yeah.
I heard that too.
Like 10 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually have 2. I think we opened up twice home.
Yeah.
We got
Good for you.
San Fran, Cleveland. So two really good tests to start the season. So I mean, we got to come in, have a good camp, come in healthy, ready, and go get it.
That's awesome.
Did you pay close attention to the draft this year, knowing that it would affect the team that you're on?
Of course.
And if so, what did you see in the draft that you liked this year?
Obviously protecting, you can having guys up front, and I think we have a great group already. But having depth, like seeing how many injuries happen in an NFL season is like you look at a team week 1 and you look at them week 17, you may see a lot of new faces out there, and that happened. Like we played a couple teams second time around. I'm like, this guy's new, and the turnover on the roster is insane. Just how physical the game is. Injuries are just gonna happen. So I think, adding depth there is special to have, especially like we just talked about in our division, how physical it is. So having those guys there, having that, another added piece of tight end, I think could really help us, being more versatile and having different kind of personnels in there. So I think we did a great job. And then obviously the defense is strong, and I think they got a lot stronger with the pieces they have. So I think it was a really successful offseason for us.
So left tackle just huge.
He's a big dude, man. Big fella. Young too. I think he just turned 22 yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Big dude.
Yeah, braces. I'm like 22-year-old that big with braces. We were messing with him at dinner the other day. He's like, man, they come off in 3 months, so so he's excited to get those off.
And the tight end's a big dude too, I think.
Big dude, man.
Are they both from Georgia?
They are.
Okay.
They are.
You've got some. Did you guys draft? You didn't draft. I know you got Allen, receivers.
Yep.
You didn't draft a receiver, did you?
Did not.
Okay, but you've got some amazing. I mean, you got some weapons.
Yep.
Tay, George, Allen,
Pat.
I mean, you've got some. Like they really took care of you.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah.
You should like that. You should be thankful for that.
Very thankful. Man.
Do you have anything else that you want to share on that?
No. It's good for you. What's the? I mean, is it? I know you'll dance this question probably a little bit because I always did too. But is it tricky? Spreading the ball around a little bit, making sure everyone's happy. Because I've been there. You can say all you want. No, everyone's fine. No, they're not fine. I get it. I understand it, and I'm not asking you to like put anybody on blast because I know. But it's a challenge at times, isn't it?
Part of the job. Like I mean, you kind of, and it's coming from a place like everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to help the team win. You understand that. You have talented guys everywhere. Everyone wants the ball, and it's just kind of those guys understanding. Like I feel like each guy has like a set of plays almost. When like they hear this play's called, they're like, oh. This is to get me the football. You know, like
ears perk up, yeah.
Right. Like you know, when guys know that this is one of their plays, this is their best route, this is their best, concept. You have times when they know they're most likely going to get the football that play. So I think it's also like
And when they don't get the football, they get extra mad.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, I was open.
Been there.
I was open. I'm like, oh, I'll get you next time.
No, you weren't.
I'll get you next time. But you know how it goes, man. Everyone wants to win. It's all competitors, but you want to spread the love and make sure everyone gets touches because they can help us win. So,
what's your favorite route to throw?
It's a good question. I like comebacks, I like pivots, comebacks, the timing of it.
Yeah. Deep outside throws, huh?
Throw it to a spot early, let them go out and get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
So you talking about the talent that you have in your current receiving core actually leads us to a fan question. You guys are cool to run through a couple of those. Yeah. I thought this was a very interesting question, and I'm going to add to it because the question was from A. Elliott2343 on Instagram, and the question was, if Kenny could play with any skilled player from Ben's career, who would he pick? But I'd like to also hear the reverse of that, to where all this new talent coming in, who are you seeing? It's like, man, if I could throw that football to that dude. So, Kenny, you can start since it's directed to you, and we'll jump back over to Ben.
I'm gonna go with AB. I gotta watch him at practice. And I was like, that guy's different, man.
Special.
He's a special player. So watching him growing up and then getting a chance to see him practice, I'm going with AB.
Yeah, that's good. That's not a bad choice. I would say Pat, but I was mad I only got 1 year with Pat.
Yeah. Well, you can't choose Pat because you also play with him.
I didn't. I'm leaning up to it. I agree with that. I mean, the only one that would be different would be George.
Yeah.
He seems like. I mean, I watched him practice just for a big guy to drop his weight. It just seems like, just an absolute freak of talent. Great hands, high points balls, plays like a little guy, but he's a big body guy, plays like a little guy. I don't know him at all. I met him once, said hello, seemed really nice. I think that there's, as you'll find out, and you don't have to comment on this, I'll just tell you because I'll speak for both of us. I hope that he's able to keep the kind of attitude in check, like you said, everyone wants to be great, everyone wants the ball. But sometimes, the great ones were able to put into the right place, catching to being a good teammate. And they all want the ball, they all want to help. And he is an absolute talent, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. It's going to be a challenge for both you guys going into your second year because you're not sneaking up on anybody. He's not going to sneak up on anybody.
Yeah, tapes out, yep.
So it's going to be a challenge for both y'all. Defensive corners now know you can move. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in year 2 with both y'all. But that'd be my pick too.
Yeah. No, both are solid picks. Yeah, I don't think anybody can argue with that.
I got it before we go to the next question because I don't know. And I feel like I had to ask it. I probably should have asked it earlier. Because do you get tired of the small hands thing?
Dude, it's like
because I got tired of hearing about it.
Yeah, at some point when they run it,
weren't even my hands.
They run it into the ground so much, so you just kind of get numb to it. I'm
Really?
sure you get that point. Everyone has so many things to say. You're just like, whatever. At some point, it's like, it is what it is.
And do you wear the gloves because of your hands, or just because you like the feel of the ball?
Honestly, I had one game in college a Thursday night against UNC with Whip, and I was throwing it really. And we were in the indoor. I was just getting ready for a cold. It was going to be a cold night. I'm going to play with the gloves. And we were in the indoor, and Whip's like, you're throwing pretty well with it. And he's like, you like it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, well, let's keep it next week too. Yeah. And I just kept it. And I just felt a lot more comfortable with it, just the feel of it.
I wore gloves. Yeah. I wore gloves before Peyton and them wore gloves. I got bashed for it. What did you wear gloves for? And then Peyton wears gloves. You're like, what a smart idea.
We love gloves.
Smartest decision ever.
That checks out.
Yeah. So, but I know what I know what you're feeling. You get good tack, you get good spin.
Yeah.
It'd be hard for me to do and I wore it when I broke my thumb because I had to grip it. But in the heat, I didn't like it as much. But obviously, you're so used to it.
Yeah.
My concern was always going to be the bad weather games, rain and stuff like that, because I didn't like the rain and it being that way. So, but you seem to, you know it well enough and everything. So I got tired of it. So I was just trying to tell people to stop talking about his gloves, man, his hands. Let the man live.
Yeah. Was that something that because it obviously mainstream media sports, they need narratives. All right.
Yeah.
So you're not shocked that they're finding something, but I heard it when you were on RC show, you talked about wearing a splint to lengthen them. Is that something that was a concern of yours? If you can even call it that beforehand?
Yeah. So I wore a splint. So it helps stretch it. And my hand actually grew a little bit. I was 8.5 and then I was 8 5/8 at pro day.
No, shut up. Are you serious?
Swear.
You wore something to stretch your hands?
Yeah, because there's
like
teams.
A torture tool.
There's teams that were like, if you're not at 9, we're just you just get off the board. Really? And those teams were high. And what would you do with those? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do whatever I can.
Was it painful?
No, it was fine. It was just
someone stretch your hand out.
Yeah.
So so that was my question. It was before that became before teams are bringing that to your attention as something that they could disqualify you with. Was that ever a concern of yours, or did they actually bring it to you as oh, maybe I should pay attention to this? Because it didn't seem like you had any problem.
To pay attention to it, or yeah. I mean, if a team comes to you they're high up on the draft, you want to go as high as possible, right? I mean, you're just all right, well, that is what it is. I got to try and do what I can to get there. I'll do whatever it takes. So that's what I was doing to try and get where I wanted to go to.
It seems like a non-issue.
In
hindsight,
that's the thing. You're I think I throw it all right, but you got to get to that number that teams. Some guys just have a set thing. If you don't meet that,
do it.
Yeah,
I know this is hindsight, and teams you got to get there. No, you don't, man. You just ball out, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I get it, brother. If my dream was on the line too,
that's it.
Brother, I'm
hey,
man, shredding you Morticia Adams me up in this joint. I
that's
get
what
it.
people say. They're what would you do to reach your,
I put my hand in a stretcher.
That's it, man. It's just
I think our friend Brendan stretched his foot out at one point. I think he put his foot in a stretcher just to get his foot longer.
You did?
Yeah, he had little feet. So.
I can't even do it. I can't bounce back from that.
Give us a couple more questions and then give us another beer, and then we'll end this thing with our 2-minute drill.
Yeah. All right. So this is a funny one. Is the O-line, this is from CJ Buelina Instagram, is the O-line this year going to be called the picket fence?
T-shirts.
I don't know how the boys will feel about that one.
Right.
I think that's a fan question. That's going right back at the fans. I think it's kind of their call on that.
We might have just ruined it right now. It's definitely going to be called the picket fence.
Absolutely.
Pre-game rituals. I'd like to hear both of your guys if that's cool. Yeah. What are yours, Kenny? This is from, Chris, I want to give credit, GM Bartolome from YouTube.
I go no music, man. I don't really do much. I just kind of have the same throwing routine. Get to the stadium relatively early. I like to roll out and kind of do a little stretch before I go out for that first warm up. Have the same route tree. Besides that, that's really it. I'm kind of boring on game day. I just kind of like to be pretty mellow and not get too emotional or anything.
Yeah. What about yours, man? What do you have going on?
I would throw in the tunnel. I wouldn't even go on the field. I'd throw in the tunnel, do a little throwing routine, something really mild.
Some yoga.
Yeah. Stretch rolled. I'd get there 4 hours for some change early.
Yeah.
Would you?
Oh yeah.
Really?
And I would see the chiropractor. I'd do a bunch of stuff like that, and then I would watch Yellowstone or watch shows. I would sit in my locker and watch things.
Would you get fined if you run out with a cowboy hat on? If you roll, if you were just feeling super
as long
yellow.
as it didn't have a logo on it.
You ran out. You take it off of the game, but you just walk out
I know. As long as it didn't have a logo, I'm sure.
Are you a Yellowstone guy?
I am.
Of course you are. Of course. You're a red-blooded American. You might as well, you know what I'm talking about?
Amy.
Yeah. Here's another question here, and I think this will foster a good conversation from Will Snyder 13, also on Instagram. Can you guys talk about the transition from year 1 to year 2? Because, Ben, obviously you have this incredible rookie year where you come in clutch, and then you go on this hot streak. And then what's the pressure like winning all those games and then having to, we all think you're going to replicate it in year 2. What's that pressure, compared to Kenny coming in, not knowing you were coming in, thinking you were going to be able to sit behind a vet and kind of learn the ropes, having that accelerated, and then having somewhat of a stop and go, with some injuries, and then getting really hot, putting it together towards the end of the year, but really just probably a week late, So what is that transition like from having it hot and then going and then having your momentum kind of stopped? So
yeah, I mean, for us it was we won every game, won 15-1, lost the AFC Championship game. But to me, it was like I felt like this is gonna be easy. We'll be back next year. That's why I told Jerome come back because we're gonna win a Super Bowl next year. Because it was like I didn't know any day.
You're like rose-colored glasses. You're like, yeah, man, you just win.
It's not hard. I won in college. I won in high school. I won in college. This is what we do. So I didn't think any different. Then we came out and weren't very good. We were okay, but teams were gunning for us. And we talked about that with Coach Cowher. We had to go on a run and win our last 6 or something like that, just to get in. And then we get in as the 6th seed, and we're the first ever 6th seed to go all the way. So it wasn't like we went on this. We were dominant our second year. We just found a way to get hot at the right time.
Yeah. And so, Kenny, what was it like for you?
Yeah, I feel like I was playing catch up for a majority of the year, not getting a lot of reps. Kind of it's just you got to play quarterback to just get better and be in a system, and it just takes a little bit of time. So now that I feel like I have that experience under my belt, and I know the system, being able to come in and now I'm getting all the reps in spring, and I'm throwing to the guys I'm going to be throwing to, all that stuff just is really big. So. I'm excited to have that platform really just to build off of and just have that relationship with the guys.
You could see the growth from you and your relationship with the guys in terms of being on the same page with receivers. Because like he said, you got to think he probably wasn't working with a lot of the starters for a long time.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden he gets thrown in and he's like, I got to go throw the guys I've never thrown to. And it takes a while and it takes weeks. But you could see that you guys are starting to come along. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Real fun to watch.
Yeah, that's wild. So this next question, and then we'll jump into a beer. So Kenny, our show has a handful of pillars. We mentioned them earlier: faith, family, football, food, and beer. The center block of that is our faith. And so I just want to say you are free to not answer this, and you will not be judged if you choose not to answer it. But a lot of people asked, knowing what our show stands for. And so I'm just a conduit of the people. I will ask you and they want to know, does Kenny subscribe to a faith? And if so, what role does that play in his daily life?
Yeah, I do. I think it's definitely a bigger role in Amy's life right now, and she's kind of introing me to it. I didn't grow up with it as a center of my life, and now that I'm marrying Amy, she's kind of taking me on the journey that she's already been on. So I'm kind of she's introing with me, and I'm kind of enjoying getting to learn and get into it. So I'm kind of taking the missus role on it, just following her and having a good time, kind of learning about it.
Good for you. That's kudos to you on that, because it's not always easy as a man to follow your wife into something like that. Usually we want to be the leader and all that kind of stuff. But for you to be, I'll say humble enough, but humble enough to say, okay, I'm going to submit to my wife in this situation, and I'm not going to be too good for it or whatever. I just encourage you to keep with it. At some point, it'll come easier, and it'll be awesome to do that together. And hopefully someday you'll be leading her somewhere, and it comes in your face. So we'll continue to pray for you and encourage you, and obviously your marriage.
Thank you.
That's gonna be a lot of fun to. We'll be praying for that and everything, and checking in with you on that. But just we'll encourage you. Don't dismiss it. She's leading you down a good path, and she obviously has a good sense. We saw her at church. We actually talked about that before. We saw her at church. Tell her next time she comes to church, she better say hi to me.
I will.
But no, it's good for you guys. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That'd be a good, especially starting. Spence can speak on it more than I ever could. But your marriage, and that's the best. I was gonna say it's a good building block. No, it's the best building block for a marriage.
Yeah.
And I know you're still getting there. So
right.
I'll just encourage you to keep going, because you will see. How amazing a marriage can be when your faith is the center of it. So,
thank you.
Yeah, honestly, man, it's about for me, it's about design. You're trying to optimize everything in our life, right? And so if you're thinking about anything designed a certain way, it's meant to flourish the way that it is designed, right? And so I just believe that we're designed a certain way, and we're able to flourish when we are in line with our designer, and that's what that is. And I think you guys are extremely fortunate from the little peek behind the curtain that I have with the Steelers organization with PK. You have and the men in the locker room that was strong face and have like applied it in a way where like you have evidence, right? You have people serving the community. You have people loving their neighbors. You have people caring for the poor. Like it's on display, man. Like so, the Steelers have that in spades, and it's awesome. And I'll just say here, bro, don't hesitate to reach out, dog, because we don't do this alone. You know what I mean? Right. And I'm not telling you anything you don't know, bro. You're leader of a team. Like I understand you leading capacities, but when it comes to being the man in which you were designed to be, that you can flourish not only in your career, brother, you're gonna do that. It's time, energy, and effort, right? You got to sacrifice those. But in your marriage, man, to be the husband and God willing, the father in the future, like we don't do that alone. Like people see him and I here, like goofing around, being bros, but like we live life. Like we sit here. I mean, this started like, I mean, we've cried at this bar. We have talked, we share it, but you can't do it alone. And from what I've learned about you in the process of researching, it seems like you have a good community that you grew up with, a good family. I know when you're in Pitt, bro, don't hesitate to reach out. I know we just met, but when it comes to that, man, we don't play.
This guy.
We don't play, dude. So we'll run with you if you need it, dog.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
So that being said,
how many kids y'all gonna have, by the way?
You're asking the wrong guy, man.
all right. So this is how we're landing this plane.
Oh, it's like a whiskey.
Oh, look at you, sommelier. It's an old-fashioned inspired ale. It's aged in Kentucky bourbon barrels with orange and cherry. It's cherry, but I pronounced it wrong. I sound like
Sherry.
idiots.
Did you say sherry?
Yeah. Okay, dude.
Isn't sherry going to soup?
But it's brewed by Guinness. It's also 10.8%. I'm sorry.
It smells
Kenny,
very delightful.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to do it. Yeah,
You're a little sipping these.
Yeah. All right. That is an old-fashioned inspired ale.
Do you drink old fashions?
You look.
I've never had an old fashioned in my life.
You've never had an old fashioned in your life? Are you serious?
Very serious. If I have, I don't. I have not.
We gotta change that.
Is that whiskey and like orange juice or something?
Yeah, so it's so I think the traditional one is bourbon. It is bitters. Some do it with like a dash of water. It's like a Luxardo cherry and then orange peel.
Oh, never had it.
So my wife loves old fashions, but she would slowly start, and maybe simple syrup. All right, and then she would slowly start taking all the ingredients.
Super sweet?
It can be if you make it wrong. But if you make it right, it's a good drink. But she would slowly start taking out all the ingredients to where the bartender...
Just bourbon?
This is bourbon, man. I don't know what to tell you. All right, let's just jump into this.
I'll take an old fashioned.
Yeah, hold the fashion.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think?
Better than the last one.
It's better than the last one?
Better than the last one.
Okay.
All right.
We'll get you a Miller Lite at the end of the night. Yeah. What do you think there, Ben?
Holy cow.
Good, bad, ugly?
It's almost like a brownie. Is it like caramel or something?
Yeah,
It's like
sweet.
something super sweet. Like a tail end sweet. I mean, not that I've ever done it, but it tastes like bourbon and beer. Like you mix your bourbon and your beer together.
What is that, George Thorogood? One
That's a real
bourbon,
thing?
one beer, one whiskey. It's a song.
That's what Gary Guimont says. Two
that's
Gatorades, one water.
That tastes like an old fashioned.
That's what that tastes like?
Yeah. That tastes like an old fashioned.
It's amazing because it tastes like it tastes like a whiskey, but then it finishes like a brownie or something, like something super sweet.
A good old fashioned will be sweet, but it'll bring out those like that caramely notes of the bourbon.
It's definitely caramel.
Yeah.
Definitely caramel.
You hate it?
It's better than the second one. The first one's my favorite.
Okay.
IPA, you're an IPA guy.
I guess I'm an IPA guy.
You crossed on over, bro.
That's probably 6.5, 6.
10.8.
Oh, so you mean 6.5
Oh, okay.
on a grade.
Yeah.
6.5.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I would drink one of these probably. And remember, we're throwing the ABV out.
But can you? But can you, though? I know what you're saying.
Okay, I'm saying if I was throwing the ABV out.
If you weren't going to be affected by it.
Just flavor. Just the flavor.
I understand.
It's so unique. I would give it like a 7.5. Okay? I don't know that I could drink more than one.
Okay.
Forget the ABV.
Because it's too sweet.
It's just too sweet.
Yep.
But it is one of the most unique flavored. Like I would get Guinness, if you feel like sending some of that, send that. I would like, that's the kind of beer that I would be like, hey, try this. I got this really unique beer. Hey, Bart, who just texted me, by the way. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Bart, you got you a beer.
There you go. Yeah. Bart would like that.
Bart doesn't drink beer. There's your beer. Actually, Bart doesn't drink anything, right?
Different Bart.
Different Bart. Yeah, different Bart. True. Good point.
Yeah. That's good. I think so. You gave it a 7 or a 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah, I think
First one was 5.5.
Yeah,
and then the second one was
negative.
Yeah,
negative. Minus. I mean, I could keep going on questions, but do you have anything more? Because we want to hit you. We're gonna hit you the 2-minute drill. Cool.
Yeah, there's plenty of fan questions.
But there's something good that we're gonna hit first.
I do think this might be a heavier one to. I don't know the answer, so and I don't know that I wrote it down. So I apologize if I don't give you credit for this
Check the score
for the listener.
game while you're going.
There you go.
So Kenny, I know you get asked a lot about trying to fill the shoes of Ben.
Celtics are up 9.5.
Okay. And rightfully so, right? There's a phenomenal career. There's a great legacy.
Why are we talking about me?
We're going to talk about you a little bit more, right? I know you get asked that a lot. And it's
how annoying is it?
It's
comes with it. Right. Comes with it.
But,
you know who you're following up, man.
But
you can be annoyed.
But you're carving out. You're laying bricks, as we would say. You're carving out your own path, and it's awesome to see. This person, and I now having read the question, I'm curious, Ben, how did you feel leaving and watching Kenny take over when it seemed to a lot of us that you still had gas in the tank? Was that tough?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be completely honest, and I'll be super transparent here, and I'm going to get blasted. I probably shouldn't say this, but I mean, who cares at this point? I wouldn't say that I wanted Kenny to necessarily fail, but when someone comes to replace you, you're like, I still feel like I had it. Like, I hope he doesn't come ball out, because then it's like Ben who, right?
Right.
But honestly, I think as you started playing, and I found myself rooting more and more for you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we sat down here and watched games, and we were high-fiving, going nuts when you were leading the team and doing things, and running and doing some of the trying to fight people, all that stuff. That was
my favorite, by the way.
Yeah,
I was like, you better swing on that fool.
Yeah. I feel bad, and I know I came on this show and said that I forget how I said it, but I apologized to you for not knowing how good he was going to be.
Yeah,
I just didn't know. I had no idea. I didn't know that you were the runner that you were. I just didn't know what was going to happen. I wasn't aware, and I was pleasantly surprised. I'm glad that I was wrong in the sense of where I had you. I thought you'd be a quarterback that was good, that was going to come in. I think you're the future of this team. I really do, and I think they got, the fans should be lucky. They are lucky they got you. But that's what I'm going to say. I'll say I was early on. I didn't want him to succeed because I didn't want him. They followed me up. I didn't want it to happen. I think that's probably the selfishness of me, and I feel bad for it. But as it went on, as the season went on, he got into this third game playing. I was rooting for him.
Yeah, I was
excited for you, and I wanted you to succeed. I wanted you to win the games. I wanted you to get to the playoffs. And so I feel bad that I felt that early on, but I'm glad that I transitioned into love and rooting for you.
Appreciate that.
I have your jersey I wear every Sunday. But
it's actually your jersey, but we taped +1. On the right.
That works.
But no, it's been fun watching you. I enjoy texting you after games, and it's been fun watching, man. I'm a fan.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. Obviously, watching you growing up.
Yeah, okay. I get it.
Go back to when I was 6 years old.
So, 20 years ago. Yeah. That's huge, man. Yeah, I think that's a. Is that encouraged? Having, I don't know what your guys' relationship is, but hearing Ben say that, I was here for that transition. As we're sitting there, okay, Kenny's coming in again. We don't know, and it's kind of the fun of being drafted. At least for me, I always loved situations when I had to prove myself. And so I think when you walk in with a chip on your shoulder at these apex level competitors that you guys are, there's something that in you that that's kind of why you do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's in there. But having Ben say that, because we watched the Tides turn, it was yeah, dude, that guy's getting, okay, cool, man. We got to cheer for greatness, and it seems like it's developing. So how do you feel having heard Ben say that?
No, man, it means the world. It's a lot goes into playing quarterback in the NFL, man. And I think the outside world, they're like, oh, they I love the people that think they actually have a clue and they got no clue.
It's called the internet, Ken.
It's just
called local media.
It's just
certain local media.
There's people like to think they know, but unless you're in these shoes, you really just don't know. And I have a lot of respect for the people that have done it at the highest level, like Ben has. And you see the wins, the Super Bowls. You're like, for sitting in this, you're like, how did he do it? Like, you want to do it. You're studying him. I had my chance to watch him when I was at Pitt. Now I'm playing and I'm trying to get to that point. And it's just, you got to obsess. I think you got to obsess over it. And it's just your lifestyle. Like every single day you wake up, like I'm going to work to try and become the best player that I could be. And I'm grateful to be in this organization that had people before, just like Ben, that did it and showed me how to do it. And like, you're watching his old tape and stuff, and you can learn some new things. So to hear him say that, it's special. And, I'm excited. Hopefully I can continue to carry the legacy he set.
You will.
Yeah, man.
You will.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, we end all of our shows, if we remember.
If I remember.
With a segment called the 2-minute drill.
Which you should be good at.
Yeah, you should be good.
So.
Yeah.
So I'm going to set a little timer on my phone. You have 2 minutes to answer as many questions as you can.
Let's do it.
These are like rapid fires.
Okay.
Should be easy.
Yep.
I mean, you don't have to be like, boom. Oh yeah, they'll be super softballs. And just answer them however you want.
Yep.
Okay. Are you ready? I'm starting
Ready.
to watch. Favorite sport to watch?
Football.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
What's your favorite food?
Buffalo chicken quesadilla.
What's your favorite sport to play?
Football.
Really? Do you call it pop or soda?
Soda.
Would you rather watch college football or NFL?
NFL.
Artificial turf or grass?
Grass.
Sunday night football or Monday night football?
Good question. Sunday night.
What's your fastest 40?
4.76.
Mine was 4.75. What's
No,
your
I'm just
go?
kidding. I was 4.68.
Oh, okay. What's your go-to pregame song?
I don't listen to music. I told you.
Well, I know, but I didn't know if you had something.
Trying to catch you, dog.
Yeah, I know. 4th and goal at the 1. Are you running or throwing it?
Get me on the move. I could do either.
Oh. Chocolate or vanilla ice cream?
Vanilla.
Favorite football player of all time?
Montana.
Nice.
That's a good call.
What's your go-to dessert?
Oh, good question. Oreo ice cream.
Yes.
So good.
Well, last concert you went to, we know that one. Unless you went to a different one since then.
Nope.
Time's almost up. Favorite vacation spot?
I was just at Baja Mar. It was awesome.
Oh.
Yep.
Favorite singer or group?
Right now, Morgan Wallen.
I'll ask you this question. Golf, yes or no?
Yes.
Ocean or a lake?
Ocean.
Last 2. One play left in the game. What's your go-to call?
Where am I?
Game's almost over.
Hail Mary.
Send it!
All right. What's your go-to dance move?
Oh, I'm awful. Rock side to side.
Okay.
Little drinking your 2-step, my brother.
Last one. Your favorite Steeler QB of all time right now. Dang it, that would have been a good one to get to.
Hey, you gotta obey the clock.
You gotta end it.
You gotta obey the clock. Yeah.
He said rock side to side. I like that. That's good.
Can you show us that, Kenny? What is the rocket to side
Just
to
hold the
side?
drink, dude. You got a 2-step.
You gotta get to the part where you point a lot. You do
Yeah.
what?
Or you just spin. Just spin the
Yeah,
girl.
you
That's-
spin.
Are you and the wife doing do you have a first dance? Are you guys taking a dance class? So you have something?
We're just going to go wing it. I think we're just going to go let it.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
bro.
gonna
My
let
wife
it rip.
made me.
Shoot from the hip.
We took it. We
Yeah.
did a little, not only a class, but we had someone come.
It's 30
and I'm saying
seconds,
because
right?
it's my wife.
30?
She was like,
Oh, I know.
nervous.
Oh, I know. I don't think you're planning
You
the
know me.
dance.
Is
You
it
know
30
what I mean?
seconds? It's not very long, right? It's
Well, it depends on how long it is.
You're
question.
only gonna dance for the 30 seconds, and you're
It's
out.
like
You're
probably
like,
30 to 45, right? And then
Jeez.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We did the whole
don't know either.
song though. Me and
What'd you
me
do?
and
The
Ken.
church slide?
No, it was a Cupid shuffle. You watch New Girl? You watch New Girl at all?
I have
All
not.
right, then I will spare you this reference, brother. Yeah. So, well, Kenny, thank you so much for being here, man. This is awesome. It's been really cool to hear you guys chop it up. I know not only from me sitting here hearing the perspectives, because I'm just a naturally inquisitive person, to hear the perspectives of people who live an aspect of life that I will never have access to is really, really cool. And I know you guys have blessed the city of Pittsburgh with just with your guys' conversation. Before we leave, we want to make sure that we give you the opportunity to plug anything or, shout out anybody that you want before you leave here.
Yeah. The Mylan Terry Foundation's our golf outing is coming up in June 12th. So that was my cousin who passed away when she was 10. I was 13, so to cancer. So we're putting that together, for pediatric cancer awareness and raising some money. So anything out there, we can give gifts to golfers or anything, please let you guys know, and we could put something together for it. It'd be awesome.
Is that in Jersey? Where are you guys doing
New
that?
Jersey, yeah.
New Jersey,
Yep.
nice.
Yeah. So I'll head
We'll
back
plug.
home.
Spence will plug that stuff on the.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I'll get links. I'll put it in the description.
Perfect, man.
Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You have any social media stuff that you want us to follow?
accounts to follow?
No, do you have any, do you have social media? Do you do Twitter? Instagram?
I do. Yeah, I got Twitter, Instagram.
Yep.
Got both.
All of them?
All of them. Touch them all.
Cool.
There it goes.
Yeah, I'll find those links and I will put those in the description below. Make sure you guys go check that out and support. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys want to send in a beer, the address to do that is going to be in the description below. Also, you can get this football merch. Oh, what's up, cuz? At the link in the bio or the description as well. Like always, we appreciate the time you guys spend with us. It is not lost on us. Thank you guys for sending in your fan questions. And we'll continue to do that in the future when we have guests. But until next time, catch you guys later.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you to all our sponsors.
Come on, man.
Oh, yeah, you're not supposed to do that. But no, thank you very much for your time. I'm a fan. We will root for you. As you saw, my son was super excited to see you. He was excited tonight. I told him he could come down and see you. But thank you for the time. Really looking forward to what you're going to bring, not just on the field, but off the field. Congrats on the wedding. Good luck with that.
Man.
That's awesome. Really happy for you guys. And thanks for taking the time to be with us. And thank you, all you fans. Thank you, Creekside, all you guys do. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.